That's right, back by popular demand. Well, back by a deafening silence that we took to be a reasonable demand that you were all just too polite to make. It's the inevitably nonsensical, yet hopefully enjoyable, After Movie Diner Season 2. That's right, the first 353 episodes were just Season 1. That is just mad! Like all good sequels, in Season 2, you can expect us to ramp up the action, gore, expletives, gratuitous mentions of Donald Pleasance, and, of course, the requisite nudity. So, when you hear this noise...
Well, hello, my dear.
remove your first item of clothing. And make it something good, not just a sock or a polka dot neckerchief or something. If you enjoy the show and have pursued the recommended treatment from your medical providers, why not support the show on Patreon over at patreon.com/aftermoviediner. You can also donate to the show directly at aftermoviediner.com. Rate and review the show wherever podcasts are found and rating and reviewing is possible. Even a 1-star review provides useful insights on exactly the sort of petty-minded and wretched individual who negatively reviews free entertainment they do not need to be consuming. So, without further dribbling, please put down your lemon meringues, silence your bowels, and rub 2 nearby dogs together for the one, the only. Thank goodness, because any more of him and we'd have to start a call. John Cross.
So, hello, everybody. We are live, and it's shambolic. Feel free, Matt, to share it to Facebook or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to share it with my wife as well. I just let her know that, yeah.
So, if this works, it will be the greatest achievement that all of podcasting has ever achieved.
Yeah.
Now, for people who don't know, to my right, it might be to everyone else's left, I don't know, is Matt Poirier or Matt Poirier or Matt Poirier.
Yeah, right. It's just, I believe the way it was pronounced one time at a work. Yeah, I think the one that I knew when I knew it was my name. So I was winning a backpack at this thing. It's like a online Zoom thing for one of the services we use. And the woman's like, Matt, and I was like, oh, that's me. I won the backpack. You know?
She John Travolta, Indina Menzel, your name. Yeah. That's fantastic. And and now to sing so and so and so and so. In Syria Menjay. All right, did John Travolta just have a stroke? But no, who knows? But no, so Matt Poirier from Direct to Video Connoisseur. Again, that doesn't work. You're actually that side. Direct to Video Connoisseur, figure it out. He's been writing that blog and doing that podcast for decades now, right, Matt?
Well, so the site I started in 2007, and I took a hiatus for a period. The podcast was actually started. You and Mo were the ones who got me to start the podcast.
I just want to check.
Yeah.
You said you were on hiatus, not that that you took a hiatus,
right?
Not that you took a hyena.
Right. No.
Take a hyena from anywhere.
No, I'm very, very good. But when it comes to animals, I leave animals alone, let them do their thing. And especially hyenas, but in general, go ahead and relax.
Or low hyenas, either one.
Yes. Any medium height hyenas, or any level. Yeah.
We don't discriminate amongst the hyena population.
Yes. Exactly.
All right. So carry on, Matt. Yes, you've been doing it many years, right?
So the podcast, right? Yeah, that started with 20. Remember, and it was like in 2014. You and Mo came to me because I'd been on Drunk on VHS. We talked about frauding and hobo butt flutes. Hobo butt flutes. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so all kinds of interesting topics that we'd had on there.
Check those podcasts out. They are still available on the After Movie Diner website, aftermoviediner.com. I also realized it's funny. We have this scrolling thing along the bottom that says, ask us questions about 90s era Jim Belushi, but I can't see. Oh, wait, can I see the comments? Yes. Oh, I can see the comments now, I think.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, so if someone posts a comment, now I can see a comment. We're still trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
But that's one of the exciting things.
Oh, right, because it's listening private chat. Okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So people can comment. So do ask us questions about 90s era Jim Belushi now. Yes. So anyway, so that was Matt. That's who he is, and that's why he's there, and it's wonderful. If you don't know, this is, I've been doing this now almost 13 years. So you can tell I've got it down.
Right.
When they say, you have to do 10,000 hours of something.
Right.
Well, if anyone remembers how long my episodes used to be, that's only about 5 episodes. So I did 10,000 hours very quickly. But even so, over 13 years and over almost 350 episodes and, lots of blogs and everything else, you'd think I'd be, quicker off the trot, or whatever they say.
I find
off the bat, not off the trot.
Yeah, it's off the trot.
What does that?
This is the thing with podcasting. I've noticed for myself, like when I go in and start talking, some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth, that's just like these things that it's like, where did I come up with that? And the thing that always blows my mind is like, I'll go in knowing like certain dates, names, things like that. There was one that was kind of a little infamous for me when I first started doing some solo episodes, and I was doing the Fast and Furious movies, and I spent an entire episode that I recorded referring to Paul Walker as Scott Walker. I still don't know where that's been in my head for years. I don't know where he became Scott Walker, but
that's now what he is.
Right, exactly.
Scott Walker.
I had to do like an opening and be like, listen, everybody, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to be calling him Scott Walker the entire podcast. Just before you want to send me an email and say, hey, he's Scott, I know, I did it.
He's Thomas Walker. We know what his real name is.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, and so Matt and I have been talking about collaborating more, doing more podcasts, having Matt on as a guest more, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things that I came out of those conversations was the idea of us doing a live stream, which would also become a podcast, where we watched 90s era Jim Belushi films. Right. And commented on them, and then making a podcast out of that and so on. And I thought of this idea of 2 middle-aged men watch 90s Jim Belushi movies unironically, and that's what we're going to be doing. which we happen to think is hands down the greatest idea for a podcast the world has ever seen.
Right.
Because, there's been some, true crime podcasts and people are like... people have written whole films and then acted them out over several, episodes of a podcast. You've got podcasts where comedians interview other comedians, and then other podcasts where other comedians interview other comedians, and then another podcast where 3 comedians interview one, sometimes more than one comedian. And then there's that one where the angry comedian interviews other comedians. Then there's that one where the guy thinks he's a comedian but can't be a comedian because he's also an MMA fighter, and he's inexplicably popular considering what a shiny domed twat he is, but everyone loves him and he interviews comedians. So those are the podcasts available, and that's a wide and varied mix. I think we can all agree that that's a wide and varied mix. But we thought no one's ever done 2 middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi movies. No one's ever done that. Yeah. In fact, Matt, it might be said that we are the only people who've ever even said that sentence or those words in that order.
It's amazing because I think one of the reasons why nobody would ever think of it is because, post, according to Jim Belushi, people forget that there was a according to Jim Belushi, which would be 90s Jim Belushi. So the fact that people already forgot that Jim Belushi existed means that most people forgot that there would even be a 90s Jim Belushi to talk about. Right.
And yet you would think, Matt, in this day and age of the multiverse and this situation where people can just go back in time or go forward in time or be alive again when they were dead or whatever. All this stuff is now possible. You would think that there would have been someone who would have tried to go back and realize that there was a according to Jim Belushi.
Right. I love the idea of an according to Jim multiverse where Jim Belushi, according to Jim Belushi meets like Royce and like gang related Jim Belushi and like, you know, all of these other.
Well, you can imagine like Royce is about to like jump out of a helicopter and take a train, and he looks behind him, and according to Jim Belushi, he's just sat on a chair eating nachos and telling his wife to cook him some dinner or whatever. And probably Royce looks at him and goes, "Are you going to help me?" And he probably belches and makes some derogatory comment about the cat. And then that would continue. It would be such a fascinating multiverse. Because you would have, you know, genre hopping, character actor as a leading man, semi-comic, semi-hard ass 90s Jim Belushi, who playing in all sorts of different puns, in all sorts of different genres. He was not afraid to jump from action to sci-fi to comedy to movies with dogs that are kind of everything. And even, as we're going to find out tonight, 90s erotic thrillers. Yes, that's right, ladies and germs. 90s according to Jim Belushi, said, you know what? I can do anything, right? I was in Abraxas and I was in Royce. I was in Real Men and I was in K9 PI. I can do, not even the original K9, K9 PI, which I still love, by the way. Still a good movie. K9 trilogy. It's an undiscovered gem of a trilogy. More people need to be down with the continuation of the Dooley story. We needed it. We needed it, Matt. I think you know we needed it. And the fact that we got 3, count them 3, that's as many as Lord of the Rings got. And so I think we know which one's better. K9, K911 and K9 PI. Boom. There we go. It writes itself, Matt. Anyway,
There was, how Belushi didn't win an Oscar for the scenes where he was chasing the dog around trying to fetch, like, what was it, a computer chip out of the dog's feces? And the dog fart jokes that he was acting alongside. And
the thing is, is the dog doesn't even get an Oscar. The dog jumped a building, Matt. Jumped a building. Jumped a building, Matt. Where's his Oscar?
No.
Oscar's so human. Hashtag Oscar's so human. You know what I mean? What about the dogs? What about the dogs, Matt?
Have you ever noticed
hashtag Oscar's so human?
It's just dogs. I think, when it comes to movies, right? Animals, computers, and ninjas are the only things that can be magic in action films.
Yes.
Right? A computer can do anything it can, anything that we need to, and until it can't, right? Till suddenly there's a reason for the plot for it to not be able to do it. Ninjas, right? Ninjas are magic. They can disappear. They can teleport. They can walk on water. And then animals, right? Like dogs can super jump. They can act like humans. They can talk sometimes. They do all kinds of amazing things.
They can go through car washes and make us all go, "Oh, isn't that cute?" When really, it's sort of animal abuse.
Exactly.
Hashtag Oscar's so human. I'm just saying, Matt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. What about Toto? Right? Gone with the Wind. Toto.
Yes.
No one ever talks about that performance. Quiet, brooding, atmospheric, picking up on all the cues. No one ever talks about that little dog, that little white beauty, acting its little paws out.
When I was a kid, I saw a performance, like a local theater performance thing for our school, and Toto was played by a pound puppy. Do you remember those the pound puppies? Like it was
I think I know what you mean. Was it a stuffed toy?
It was like a stuffed dog, and it had a heart on its back. It was
bag, right?
Yeah, and on its back it had a heart that said PP for pound puppy. And I think they came in these boxes that look like traveling craze. The idea was supposed to be like you were adopting the dog.
You were adopting this teddy bear.
Exactly.
As if having a teddy bear wasn't responsibility enough, man. Now they have to make it legal.
Right, exactly.
Like, you are taking this dog home, and
right.
it better live. Because if it doesn't, right?
Right,
you know what's going to happen.
Well, and of course, it helped all the shelter dogs that somebody wasn't adopting an actual dog, but they were getting a pet. They were getting a stuffed animal. So
right, exactly. Yeah. Hashtag Oscars so real, right. Rather than stuffed.
Right, exactly.
Where is the Oscar for stuffed dogs at plays in your local area, Matt? Did you say in a play?
I was a kid. Yeah, I want to say it was like a kid. Like I want to say like they came to my school and like performed in like the gym floor or something. You know, like
wait a minute.
It was one of those kinds of things. Like
at your school, they were doing a version of K9.
No, Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz.
Yes, well, that makes a lot more sense.
Yes, K9 would have been amazing. That would have been amazing if they just got some kind of like schlubby kind of guy with a Chicago accent who's kind of balding to just show up and drink beers and have this German Shepherd run around and bark at people. Yeah,
I know. But I tell you what, I always wanted the car in K9.
Yeah,
that is overlooked cinematic vehicle. You know what I mean?
Yes.
People talk about the Ghostbusters van and Mystery Machine and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, great vehicles, all of them, every single one, a classic vehicle. But according to Jim Belushi's car in K9, I think it's a winner. Anyway,
I agree.
Anyway, so tonight, Matt, as I teed up earlier, you know, Belushi can just do whatever he wants. And apparently what he wanted to do this particular occasion in the year of our Lord 1992, and by our Lord, I mean whatever Lord and Master you serve. Right. I, for example, serve Satan. But actually, I don't. I wouldn't want to belong to his club. There's entirely too much heat and red and anyway. No, sorry. The year of 1992 doesn't even have to be of our Lord. I don't know why I went there, but anyway. Scratch this. Edit point. Right.
Well, because that's the expression. Unfortunately, that's the expression, and it sounds great. Who there are people like Hunter S. Thompson that would say it that way, and it just sounds so much. It sounds fun to say it that way, and so
when I say it, I sound like some doggy old Church of England priest speaking to 4 people in a cold, brittle church after those 4 people have just murdered an already dirgy hymn. They've taken that noise, Matt. Even if sung properly, this hymn would be the least rousing and the least entertaining musical event anyone had ever heard. So you get 4 tone-deaf octogenarians singing. I mean, really, you've captured something there. It's beautiful.
You know, if BBC TV shows depicted the church going experience like that, BritBox would go under. Like nobody in America would buy it. They would just
nobody would believe it.
That's really what church is like. Oh, that's yes. Okay.
Everyone's still wearing their coats and scarves because the churches were built in like 1283, and no one's thought. Listen, I get it. You want to keep it like authentic the way it was, but put some insulation in for the love of sweet Jesus. Put some insulation in this, 1,000-year-old building. Right. Or I don't know, get the church to cough up some of its ill-gotten loot and build some new churches. Because I know people love going into old churches, and I get it. Yeah. But once you've been into one, trust me on this, because I've been into thousands, literally thousands, Matt. It's why I look aged. It's why I look aged and why I will never, ever go to heaven if one exists. Which it doesn't, by the way, really. Anyway, so, yes, everyone had to wear coats and scarves because they didn't insulate the damn thing. They should build new churches or insulate the old ones. Either way. Depict it correctly, BBC, or I'm coming for you, and I'm going to rescind my license fee that I don't have to pay anymore, because I'm coming to you live tonight from the wilds of Connecticut. Matt is all the way, Matt, our correspondent down there in Philadelphia, PA. What's it like on the streets of Philly tonight, Matt?
It's actually quiet for a change, but that can change very quickly. So,
Well, that's what I tell you. What once everyone in Philly starts to watch this show because Philly, it's a very like town pride city. Yeah. Lots of patriotism, but just for Philly and everything that comes from Philly. And why not be proud of where you're from?
And also colonial and further Philly. There's no pride in pre-colonial Philly either.
Just like there was no pride in post post 90s Jim Belushi, right. Or according to Jim Belushi. Right. There's no pride in that, Matt.
No,
90s Jim Belushi. We're all over that shit like a rat.
Right. Yes.
Again, don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. But anyway, tonight, Matt, as I said before, Belushi can do anything. He's doing 90s erotic thriller. He's seen Michael Douglas. He's seen the wrinkled testicular face of Michael Douglas mounting the shiny beauty of a young Sharon Stone. And he's gone, I want some of them apples.
Right.
How do you get me some of that 90s erotic thriller money? Right. He's seen Sweaty Baldwin mount a beautiful, shiny face Sharon Stone in Sliver.
Right.
And he's gone, I want some of... He's seen, just to reference, he's seen Bob Hoskins and Greta Scacchi in Shattered with condom full of condemned ham-faced Tom Berenger. That's right, Berenger. I'm calling you out for having a face that looks like a lot of condemned meat has been packed into a condom.
And it's amazing that he has been able to manage a career like that. I mean, there's a Berenger career out there that is... the Big Chill, I got it. I understood the Big Chill, but kind of after the Big Chill,
what's he doing and why?
And we're talking about Belushi and all the roles he got in the 90s. Like Berenger's agent, he must just show up with a Big Chill card and say, "This is what you're getting." And everybody's like, okay, well, give me that. And then he gets off there, and like you said, he's like distressed ham in a condom or whatever. Like that's, they're like, is this what we're paid for? This is the Big Chill. Like,
I like distressed. I said condemned.
You condemned it.
And what I like about that is the idea of a ham being mildly distressed.
You could see like fancy restaurants in New York that becoming the trend.
This ham is very distressed.
A slice of ham with a pizza. Right.
Well, Tom Berenger took the ham and completely shoved it into a condom. So it's very distressed for having been put in that. So, does ham have feelings? I don't want to be eating ham if it has feelings. Anyway, this is a whole other thing. But I don't want to be eating ham if ham has feelings. The tagline of this first inaugural episode of Middle-Aged Men Watching 90s era Jim Belushi films unironically tonight. Matt, I think we've built it up enough. It's Traces of Red, the 1992 thriller that is described on Tubi, where it is currently streaming. A detective on the case of a serial killer in Florida starts to question his relationships and the killer's ties to him in this erotic thriller. It's not, by the way. Right. It's not very erotic. Anyway, and I'm glad about that, Matt, because the last thing, can you imagine if it was actually erotic? And you and I just sat there going, like, awkwardly, like, what's going on? Right. Like, if it was blue was the warmest color level of eroticism, like just unnecessarily pornographic for like 33 minutes with just Belushi and Lorraine Bracco, and we'd have to just sit there. I didn't realize that was going to happen. I feel uncomfortable now.
I haven't seen this yet, so it very well could have been that, and you could have set me up and been like, well, you wanted Traces of Red, Matt, here you go.
You wanted to see the light bouncing off Belushi's forehead, receding hairline, and his ass at the same time as him and Lorraine Bracco had an unnecessarily long sex scene. in which furniture was destroyed and fruit was rubbed on each other. It got deep, Matt.
Yeah.
You know, like the scene in Real Men where he takes the waitress home and then suddenly she's like an insane dominatrix?
Yeah.
It was like that, but with more jam.
Right. Yeah. It was like Art of Dying, where Wings Hauser has a sex scene with Kathleen Kidmont. There's like milk and food and everything, and he's like,
milk.
Yes. Apparently, the behind the scenes with that. Have you ever seen that movie? Have you ever seen that one?
I've not seen Wings Hauser having it away in milk.
Okay, Art of Dying. Yeah, be prepared for that. Apparently, like he really wanted hit like a close up on his ass, and according to Kathleen Kidmont, he was like forcing like the makeup woman to like put foundation or something on his ass so it would look good in the scenes. And there's just milk everywhere. I mean, it was just absolutely disgusting. But the fact that he wanted it to be that disgusting makes it even worse. So yeah, be ready. Though I would not eat any distressed ham before watching Art of Dying if you watch that movie, because you might get sick.
Wings Hauser demanding that a poor woman powder up his butt.
Exactly.
But that's why we love him. That's why we love him. No judgment on Wings.
No.
We love Hauser. All right. We are watching Traces of Red, and we better get on with it because it's a bloody long film. Yeah. And because 35 minutes of it, Matt, is just flat out Belushi porn. Like you're gonna be very uncomfortable.
Like Last Tango in Paris, kind of like Belushi, right?
Worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it starts. Right. It starts with Last Tango, and then builds up to like Necromancer or something. Right. All right, so here we go then. Traces of Red on Tubi. We'll pause it occasionally and make comments or whatever. But yeah, enjoy this film with us, please.
Yeah.
It's already brilliant.
That Samuel Goldwyn is just as nice as like a good Vestron video or a Canon or something. Yeah.
Look at that. Name above the title. That's what he always wanted. Belushi and Bracco, the couple you always suspected you didn't need.
Tony Goldwyn, no relation or related to Samuel Goldwyn?
Very related. Yeah. Very related.
Very related.
Yes. Nepotism. Americans love films that begin with guns.
Yeah, we can't.
Homicide detective has been shot.
Oh, voiceover.
You may hear about it on the news, but you won't get the truth.
No.
Nothing's what it seems here.
That's right. It begins and Belushi's dead.
That's me. No wife, no kids, no regrets.
No.
Just 1 9mm bullet lodged in my chest.
Nice saxophone.
Someone goes, it's an erotic thriller, there better be saxophone. And so the director was like, fuck it, let's put it over the beginning with Belushi on a gurney, having been shot in the chest. Basically, this was The Sixth Sense before The Sixth Sense. The rest of the movie, Matt, he's a ghost.
Okay. It is the pottery scene with Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah.
Pam Dixon casted this, so yeah. So
it's going to be quality casting.
Let me take you back a few months to where it all started.
Sure, let's do that.
See, I lied. He's not a ghost. It's all in flashback. And there is a perpetual saxophone on the soundtrack throughout the whole film.
Oh, Graham Revel, look at that. He's famous.
This is already the greatest live Twitch stream thing that's ever happened. It's not, well, we're not on Twitch right now because I'm not paying for it. But we are. Well, this is the best live YouTube. I mean, this is just the greatest thing, Matt, that's ever happened in the history. Isn't Jim Piddock? I think Jim Piddock is someone. I gotta look.
Right, it up. I know because but it's one of those names that you feel like you remember. But
Palm Beach.
Oh.
Where everyone has 3 lives: public, private, and secret.
And Piddock.
Oh, I mean, listen to that. Belushi just milking every drop of Marlowe-esque detective voiceover.
Yeah.
So, dude, Jim Piddock is the guy from all the Christopher Guest movies.
No.
Yes, this guy.
Oh, I've got to look. Yeah, let me. I did Puddock.
Jim Piddock. He wrote this?
Wow. So the guy who's like the one who's like the like in A Mighty Wind, he was the husband. He's got the train set downstairs, and
this was his first thing.
Wow.
He wrote this, dude. He wrote this. Tooth Fairy, the rock film. Tooth Fairy 2.
Right. There's a Tooth Fairy 2.
There's a Tooth Fairy 2.
Oh, it's a video. It's a direct. It's got Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have Larry the Cable Guy.
And so that's the pedigree of this movie, Matt, which we're going to carry on with right now.
Yeah.
And some of these secrets.
And he wrote Silk Stockings episode, so he must have a thing with West Palm Beach.
In the world.
I hope they play the saxophone all night.
Yeah.
What's hilarious is nothing looks good right there. Like the blonde hair doesn't suit her, the red lipstick doesn't suit her, nothing she's wearing suits her.
Yeah.
My tip tonight, Emilio.
Also, her voice is very ADR in this movie.
Is it?
And it becomes annoying.
Okay, Mike.
Oh, there's the dad from Boy Meets World. Yeah, so we got him here too.
Classic Belushi. Look at that. That's going to be our starter for 10 for bad 90s ties. And that is Belushi was never below or above either one you look at it.
Yeah.
Wearing a bad 90s tie. And we'll learn that as we go through his 90s oeuvre.
Yeah,
Wait. You got something with
he did the whole 90s thing up. I mean,
he was the king of the 90s.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if he had jeans on with that suit.
Michael's going to be running for the state senate.
All right.
Now look at
Ooh.
good hard look. Would you vote for this man?
Yeah, why not? I vote for you too.
Me? Well, you lost credibility there.
Was that dubbed?
Sure. I'm not particular.
And I think this whole movie is dubbed
That's dubbed, right?
by other actors.
Not my goddamn check.
I'm sorry, sir.
Listen, you come into a pricey joint like this, you expect it to be treated with just a little bit of deference.
This is your problem here?
Yeah.
What's the hard thing about
Belushi
bringing
stepping
the
in
right
to defend the woman
Yeah.
that his brother wants to
My
nail.
check.
At these prices, I don't need some stupid bimbo.
Whoa, you're causing a disturbance there, sir. Why don't you just sit down and relax, all right?
Flashing the badge. Yeah, you got to flash the badge.
And be a man, all right? Leave the girl 30% tip. All right?
You are such a stud.
This is bad, you're right.
I love that they go, how do we make people think Belushi's just a no-nonsense copper?
Right.
And the writer, Jim Piddock.
Jim Piddock.
Like I said, we have a
Oh,
babysitter.
Piddock, when, a guy's being a bit of a dick to a waitress, and he,
It's a big night for your brother.
goes
Don't
and breaks it
disappoint
up. Like,
him.
what?
You could see that scene being performed by Eugene Levy in a Christopher Guest movie, and we'd be laughing about it.
I'm
Well, we are
disappointed,
laughing about it.
Right? Exactly.
Belushi is such a comedic genius, even under his hard 90s action detective cop facade.
too. To Ohio?
Belushi is not above doing a little bit of comedy in there. So
Yeah.
it's okay that we laugh.
Right, exactly.
You decide.
Yeah, take me wherever. That's fine.
And the
You got me
range.
30% tip. You can get me. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, cops in 90s movies had a lot of money and lived in really nice places.
Yes. He's a Miami cop. And he lives in this, like, palatial cock palace.
No. I don't remember if Rob Estes and Mitzi Capture had apartments like these in Silk Stockings. I don't
Right,
think.
exactly.
Excuse me.
How do I work this? Let me pretend I don't know what a record player is. Why is this movie trying to drive home how young she is? It's so disgusting.
My dad, he was a trumpet player.
Let her know how to
Musician.
operate a record player. He doesn't have to swoop in and
Right.
be the white knight in brown pleated pants.
Yeah, she's grabbing that ugly tie right now. As
This
we
is
speak.
what we came here for, Matt.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Who's that?
Nightwing. It's English. It's very hard to find.
Ooh, do you think that'll be a clue, Matt? That the perfume is English and hard to find, and
So,
therefore fairly distinguishable from every other perfume.
Yeah.
So he could use that later as a clue.
Yeah. Chekhov's perfume.
Yeah. when the Foley artist had to do the Foley on this film, they ended up getting a woman to suck on a rubber rock. It's like, I don't think kissing sounds like that. No. When a woman kisses Belushi,
Believe that?
now,
Must have been angry.
I mean, why would a guy stay with
based on every other movie, Tony Goodwin is Godwin.
Yeah.
Godwin.
I think God. Yeah.
Tony Godwin is in.
You don't understand that.
Do we think he's A, the good guy, or B?
Nothing new. Going to court and you'll die too.
What's this, Minnesota?
Yeah, he can't be a heel, right? He's never. But yeah.
Yeah. There's just something about Godwin's face that you just go, evil!
Everybody
Evil!
after the pool play.
This
that's
guy
true.
knows he's evil. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
This movie, Matt, is cast impeccably well.
Yeah.
Impeccably well.
Yeah. It's there's nobody who's against type except for Lorraine Bracco. She's the only one who doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, she'd make sense as a brunette. As a blonde, I'm just like, what's happening there and why? Because I can't stop seeing it as a horrible wig.
Yeah.
And then I go, what's the choice there? Is the choice, well, she's the femme fatale, so she has to be blonde.
Yeah. I wonder, did they maybe think they had like Ellen Barkin for the role, and then she dropped out because she found out she was going to be with Belushi? And
yeah. I don't know. I think Ellen Barkin would have done that.
Yeah, you might be right. So maybe she didn't get offered it. But.
Yeah. Belushi. Barkin. Hang on a second. Belushi, only this time it's not the dogs that are barking.
I love that.
Ellen Barkin is. And everyone's like,
is he going to punch him? Oh, there's a little police brutality.
You left the court while I was on the stand, didn't you? You smashed the shit out of my car. I went outside to meet my lawyer. Bullshit! That's where I was, just to ask him. That was my father's car, you asshole! You sent him this poem, man. Huh? I don't believe this. You think I've been writing fucking poems? I'm gonna call my lawyer.
And if he does, he look like a poem writer. That's a good point.
You know who looks like the kind of person who might write a poem and then pretend that someone who clearly didn't write the poem wrote the poem?
Right.
Evil dude in the white pants.
Yes.
He wrote the poem, clearly. Because he's evil, he's in white pants, and he's so clearly going, I think it's this guy over here, but we know it's you because you're evil as all fuck. And he's like, no, I know, but we got to drag this out to 1 hour, 40 minutes because Piddock demands every single word he wrote as written.
Well, plus you have Belushi wanting to extend things with the love scenes and like showing women how to use record players and so.
Belushi teaches ingenues that are in no way a setup to use record players. And you, Siri, would have discovered.
A lot of tucked-in shirts. That's one thing that I think from the '90s we did okay getting rid of was the tucked-in shirt. I have a bit of a paunch myself, and I feel I feel so much better not having it tucked.
Yeah. I'm anti-tuck too.
Yeah. For so many things that the '90s were great about, this was one that we could do without for sure.
Yeah. I got 2 cops, both in jeans, both in bad ties, both deciding different ways to lead on a cop car. That's why I come to the '90s, Matthew.
Yeah. All while stuff happens behind them. That's like dealing with dead bodies and all of these other kinds of things.
Look at that. And they're like, surely we can't both stand there with our hands on our hips. And then Goldberg was like, I think I can make it work. He's like, I'll have one hand on my hip and the other one on the roof of the car.
Now they're doing the lead.
You genius. Give that man a producing credit. Jeans, bad ties, sprinting into the middle distance. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the '90s. So for people who are trying to keep up, Belushi has obviously been framed for the murder.
You're saying the poet and the murderer are the same person?
I am.
I love that this guy, by the way, casting impeccable.
Yes,
for
but
the,
still,
creepy
yes.
scientist.
Poem is from a
Look at
Daisy
that,
release. Well,
look at this.
Yeah.
He is incredible. I want this guy to have his own
Standard.
film.
Yeah.
This guy should have his own film.
damaged role
Get,
because
get me a million movies made with this guy in the lead.
Yeah.
But this guy being able to not only know the difference in typewriter stuff, but also to have charts and charts and charts of lipstick colors.
Yes.
Because that's a thing that
Yeah.
someone goes, oh, well, there's only so many lipstick colors. If we find the lipstick, we might know who the murderer is. No, that's not how that works. We wasted thousands of dollars. Abort. Bad idea.
Oh, what happened? Is like Belushi driving the other guy's car now? Is he driving?
Belushi has taken over this guy's life. That's why this guy hates him, because this guy is like, why do I have to be Belushi's best friend? What a terrible life.
I'm not allowed to drive my own car? Like, what? How did this happen? The white tennis shoes. I've got to, that's...
Oh, this trumpet is just driving
It's
me home.
beautiful. Yeah.
What does that mean, Matt? Driving me home. I'm just making up gibberish now. It's hilarious that they were like, shit, we can't get Sharon Stone, we can't get this other blonde actress, we can't get whatever, Ellen Barker.
Ellen Barker, right.
And then they were like, someone in the room went, what if Lorraine Bracco, and they went, wait, go with it. What if Lorraine Bracco dyed her hair blonde? And every single man in the room stopped and thought about it for a second, and then went, fine, whatever.
Let's do it. That's exactly what's whatever. I don't know if I could pull this one off. This one might look good with my outfit.
Most cops are either married or running around.
Somehow she would.
Lorraine. Oh,
Start
Lorraine.
asking me about my experiences.
Her voice works really well as the wife in Goodfellas, or as the therapist on The Sopranos. But as the femme fatale, like she's no like Linda Fiorentino. You know,
Oh,
she's
right.
Yeah.
Linda Fiorentino with dyed blonde hair would be
Right. Yeah, they couldn't get her. She was doing The Last Seduction, I guess.
Wait, we're going to hear some classic Jim talking his way out of trouble.
Just a surprise for just between you and me, okay? She's
Okay.
a great lady, Mr. Schofield.
I gotta go catch the Bears game. I'll see you later.
The maid is like, I'm not buying your shit for a second, pal.
But she's like, I could care less. I can't stand her either.
I don't care. Oh, no,
She hasn't paid me in weeks.
She's not going up to Blonde Bracco and telling her. No. But she's also not buying Belushi's bullshit.
Yeah.
Not buying Belushi's bullshit is now my favorite sentence that's ever been said.
Something.
Belushi's hair is perfectly coiffed.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
Miami, look at the wind that's
I know.
blowing. Right?
Yeah.
His hair must be hair sprayed, into a fine crown.
Yeah.
Department had me on hold.
We had 4
What?
people, now we're back to
Partner's
2
been
again.
keeping me
What
amused.
was it that I did
Oh,
in the
yeah.
last 30
He's an
seconds that
amusing
people
guy.
didn't like? Damn it!
mirror
Get a focus
amusing
group, Matt.
guy.
Get a focus group. What was the word I said? What did I do wrong?
You know what? The Bracco jokes, the Lorraine Bracco jokes. What it was is we had 2 Lorraine Bracco fans come in, and then they found out we were killing her, and they're like, okay, this was not the podcast I was listening.
No, I thought this was 2 men appreciate Bracco's genius.
Right.
See you later.
Oh, she's so sultry.
Yes, that was Linda Fiorentino at her best right there.
Oh no, she was very who was woman in the Blade Runner who's
Sean Young. Sean Young, yeah.
She's very Sean Young.
Yeah. Another name we could have gotten in this, but apparently they needed to be blonde. Yeah.
Come on, where was Sean Young right now?
Yeah. She was like, I'm not acting with Belushi under any circumstances. Yeah.
Oh, do you know the other erotic thriller? He did one other one. And do you know who his leading lady was?
Oh, it was Sean Young, right? No, which one was, what was the other one? Oh.
Linda Hamilton.
Oh, Linda Hamilton, that's right.
Separate Lives.
That's right. That's right.
Where Linda Hamilton shows that she can be both boring and boring, but in slightly sexy leather dresses.
Right.
And take you to the holy city, the new and eternal Jerusalem.
Belushi feels uncomfortable in church. Scene 48.
Marks of this movie needs Meg Foster. We could also make the point that it needs Nico Mastorakis. I couldn't say so as a director. That
Can you imagine this as a Nico Mastorakis joint?
Yes. The other thing is, it would have had, instead of Belushi, it would have had Wings Hauser.
Which again, I'm not afraid of.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Wings would have worn the hell out of those ties. Like he would. Yeah.
Mark McDonald is saying that this movie needs Meg Foster.
Right, that's what's making me think of the Nico Mastorakis when he said that, Nico Mastorakis. Yeah, that because he did really well with her. He used her a lot, I think. He really liked her.
I think Belushi in this movie is putting his hair on like a Lego person puts his hair on. Like, you know what I mean? From behind, it just looks like Lego hair.
He just flops it on.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
also, it's like that perfect profile, like it's too angular.
Right, exactly.
Belushi is too angular.
Well, it's not exactly
says Joe Cross, movie critic. I like how she's playing the whole part like she's drunk the entire time.
I know, exactly.
Oh, hello, everybody. This is Michael's brother.
It does. It sounds very Goodfellas-y. Like it's like I love the friends. They were smacking their kids and they were talking about guys going to jail and I couldn't believe it. And it was great for Goodfellas.
I've had just a little bit too much temazepam.
How did he die?
She never told confused as to why I'm here.
No.
Well, she didn't.
Hang on, plot point.
That's what you're worried about.
Okay.
Skinny Roger Moore is about to tell him what's going on.
No. Old Gordon had a massive heart attack watching a Red Sox game.
Oh. That'll do it.
Ellen got her money the old-fashioned way.
Guy from New England, I know. I get it. Those Red Sox, they kill you every time. Because back then, they really killed you.
I don't know what plot point that was, but Piddock thought it was an absolute winner.
Piddock must have been a Red Sox fan himself, I guess. Yeah, he knew what it was like. Yeah.
What a Piddock.
Welcome. I'd like to thank all of you for digging deep into your pockets.
I would like to thank everybody for all the whiskey.
I promise you, Palm Beach County won't be the same.
I was out the back doing bath salts.
Let's dance.
I just had 10 gummies before they were even invented. 30 before they were invented.
Like after the recent, thing with Bill Murray, because Wes Anderson didn't put him in Asteroid City. Why don't you stop putting Bill Murray in movies and start putting Jim Belushi in movies?
Yeah.
Jim Belushi in a Gene Hackman style performance in a Wes Anderson movie.
I would love it if he even goes back in Wes Anderson went back and Lucas in Belushi for Bill Murray in all of the movies. Just like the way, look at it.
Okay, can you imagine that though? Every Wes Anderson movie, but instead of Bill Murray, it's just a girding Jim Belushi. That's right. Lipstick. Oh, traces of red. The lipstick is revealed to be a clue.
Guess which was right? Thousands of women use it.
Plot point.
Belushi thinks.
Yeah, crouching.
That's what it's called on the soundtrack. The soundtrack.
Graham Rebel.
Belushi thinks and Odyssey in parentheses. Belushi thinks and Odyssey in brackets. I love the soundtrack to this movie. Can you imagine if Mondo, Mondo Records or whatever, or Wax something? What is it? I don't know all the ones. But anyway, the new people who put stuff out on film soundtracks, but they do a big retro version of it, and you kind of go, really?
Tell me what's going
Then
on?
we need a retro version of the Devil's Reign or whatever, some random 70. You're okay, but do we need the soundtrack? That kind of thing.
I really don't.
But it's for this movie, Traces of Red, and they should think the new thing.
But it's not going to happen to somebody else.
It is Graham Revel, right? Doesn't he have fans? I think he has fans, Graham Revel. I think
he has big motorized fans to keep himself cool.
She said we were going to play games.
Here all week, folks.
And she said, "Don't move, honey."
Don't move, honey.
Let me do everything.
See, you can tell now that he's fractured because the helmet hair is cut loose.
What's going on.
You know how in other movies it depends on how much stubble they have as to how like fractured and mentally bereft they are. Right. In this movie, it's whether Belushi's hair moves or not. When it's not moving, everything is great. But as it slowly begins to unravel, so does Belushi's psyche. No. And anything can happen in the third act of Tricks with Bread. Tonight on Middle-Aged Men, watch 90s era Jim Belushi films. This does have great, like, noirish, Floridian, sweaty detective kind of locations. But they are all filmed like a mad child making a soap opera.
You're not going to match. Right. Fly down.
Squeeze Club.
Well, it's interesting with the casting changes because the biggest one is Lorraine Bracco, right? But it seems like everybody else, like our lieutenant and this guy, they're all perfect for their part.
Tell me about Gloria Work.
It's like the guy who was like analyzing typefaces.
Gloria Work. No, the guy who was analyzing typefaces needs an entire film series.
Right.
Cut me some slack, huh?
Steve handles Key West.
Do I have any kind of choice?
Yeah. You could do it my way, or you could do it my way.
Ooh.
Cash
that check. He cashed that check hard.
Yeah.
Jim Belushi's character names can only be called one syllable first names, otherwise he gets confused.
Huh? Can I wait?
Oh, she's angrily ripping the lettuce. You don't want to bruise the lettuce by being angry with it.
Don't salad angry. Don't salad angry.
I won't be long, I promise. I love you.
I love you. Don't bruise the lettuce while I'm gone.
Don't salad angry.
Don't salad angry.
You made angry salad again, didn't you? I can feel it in this radish. How angry you were, mate.
The whole thing's bruised. It tastes like That would have been a great.
Is decidedly angry.
That would have been a great opening scene, right? Where it's like, where he's like telling the waitress off, like, I'm paying so much money for this, and you bruised my salad. This is, your cook's back there, your prep cook's angrily making salads, and I'm paying all this money. Belushi's like, come on, man, give her a 30% tip.
She angrily made that salad. The angriest made salad ever. Like vengefully.
It's like stop it.
Please.
I always love a good tense love scene on a chaise lounge, I think.
The director was like, I need a chaise lounge and I need one now. Right. And they were like, that's too much of a demand. Listen, Belushi won't go on unless we get the chaise lounge.
I can't shoot this scene with a sofa because the back is going to cover everything. I need a chaise lounge to be able to get it in right.
And definitely bring the saxophonist back.
I don't like to be watched.
Goldwyn's like, acting's so cool. I love acting. I get to touch a lady's bosom.
He's like, I'm so glad Steven Weber turned this role down there.
I'm so glad that my father owns a studio. I said, if you get any of those movies where I get to touch a woman, please put me in those movies. And he's like, is it all right if you're the villain? It's even better if I'm the villain. Because I scream evil.
Right. He can afford to play villains all the time because his dad owns a company. He doesn't have to worry about being typecast because, he can always find work.
He's like, Dad, got any more of those booby-touching movies? Go on, one more. He's like, you've been through this year already. Yeah, I know, just one more.
All right, you're going to do it, but you're going to have to wear this old ratty jean jacket in the scene.
But Dad, that's even outdated even in the 80s.
Listen, I'm telling you, this is how it's going to work if you're going to do this. All right, Dad, all right.
He just wiped his hand. He just ran his hand across her lips and then was like, ugh.
I wonder if he also thought he was going to be Rebecca De Mornay in that scene as well. And he's like, well, actually, it's going to be Lorraine Bracco now. What?
So I bet the cross hands you have the number, right?
This whole movie was just to make Godwin happy.
Right, exactly.
Nice meeting you. I love you.
Godwin's like, I don't want to be the lead, I want to be the villain. I want Jim Belushi to be the lead. And Samuel Goldwyn was like, no, not Belushi. He's like, Dad, it's Belushi or nothing.
She told me that Michael and Morgan had something going a while ago. You know about that?
Oh, Belushi's hair is probably at about 5%.
Right. And he's so befuddled right now. He looks like a cat that's like,
look at this Wes Anderson framing with the woman and the child in the middle.
Right in the middle.
And then the two of them either side.
Yeah.
It's Wes Anderson framing, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson got a lot of ideas for this movie.
He was inspired to be a filmmaker watching this movie.
He was.
Yeah.
It was, how do I get away with making an entire movie where I don't have to move the camera? I can just have it in single static shot.
He saw this and he's like, I've got to call the Wilson brothers right now and make Bottle Rocket. And
he was like, I love everything the saxophonist doing, but what? And go with me here. If it was Mark Mothersbaugh on a keyboard. What if it's the same thing, but it's Mark Mothersbaugh on a keyboard?
Yeah.
Or however you pronounce his name. You know
Mark, no.
From Devo, right?
Yeah, from the Devo guy, Mark Mothersbaugh, You know, this stuff right here, I'm like the drone shot in modern movies has killed this. Where it's like, get over yourself. Even though this was a helicopter, and it took a lot more work, but it's like there's so much drone shot now in movies that it's like I see something like this and I instantly cringe a little bit, and I'm like,
I like it because it was so clearly taken from a TV episode of like Magnum PI or
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice is the obvious one, but I think probably from like a Murder She Wrote where she goes on holiday to Florida. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of thing. Or an episode of the A-Team or something. Yes. Where they all...
Hello.
Oh, hey, it's the writer.
That's the writer.
That's me.
So along with writing this Bill Pinnock, you also got yourself a part in it. You sleazy.
Yeah.
Christopher Guest saw this and was like,
Ed Norton-looking mother.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is the kind of part Ed Norton would like now play with very utmost seriousness.
I'm not sure.
Everyone, Ed Norton's on the set. We've all got to be incredibly serious. Ed Norton's the shit out of the scene.
Chip on his shoulder.
Pinnock is that guy.
Never could settle down. Even him.
Do you know where I might find him?
He's going to take Goldwyn downstairs to show him his train set.
He used to go to St. Anthony's Catholic Church every Sunday. It's down on Mateo. You might want to try there tomorrow.
Great.
All right. Tell me what he looked like.
Your lucky day.
Is he wearing Goldwyn's white pants from the earlier scene?
I think so, because it's going to turn out to be like dual murderers. The White Pants Gang. Who's this guy? They're just introducing this right now.
Is this a red herring? Is this?
We haven't kept up with the plot, Matt, and now we don't know who this guy is. Oh, I don't want to see Goldwyn's O face.
Oh, jeez, he's just knocking stuff over. Okay.
Stop showing me Goldwyn's O face. I would knock over more than a glass. Why are we watching this? Belushi, why did you allow this to happen on your film set?
Yeah.
This is unpleasant in the extreme.
Yeah. Oh, then we've got our Wes Anderson shot after.
Yeah.
This is actually more Catherine Bigelow, I think. This is very Catherine Bigelow here. This is
Mark McDonald says, what kind of questions? Like, why God?
Come down here.
Mark, if this, the greatest live stream on YouTube that has ever been attempted, if this hasn't proved to you why, God, why, then I don't know what to tell you. Because this right here, gold, every line.
And not to maybe give it away too much, but when we're finished with all the 90s, Belushi, we're going to move on to According to Jim, and it's just going to be According to Jim episodes.
According to Jim, the podcast, and we just do it over and over and over again.
Just go through every season. Oh, he's smelling to make sure we got the perfume. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
At this moment, it could work, but it's still a terrible lie.
No, really? What kind of perfume is that?
It's called Nightwing. Steve gave it to me. Why does it smell
Dun,
familiar?
dun, dun. Nightwing, the perfume. It came back from the beginning, like I said it would, because it stuck out like a fucking sore thumb.
Chekhov's perfume.
Why? What? Chekhov's Matt, I want Walter Koenig to do a series of adverts for
Chekhov's perfume. You know, if you introduce perfume in first scene, you must use at end of movie. Nightwing. Walter Koenig.
I'm Walter Koenig for Nightwing.
Did you see he did an appearance recently? I saw on Twitter he was advertising. He's like, "Come see me while I'm still alive." That was what he was. That's how he advertised it.
Yeah, he's definitely given up.
Yeah,
he's just given up. He's like, just whatever I need to do to get out of here with a little bit of money and dignity.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Koenig. I think that ship has sailed, mate. It's Nightwing.
What is that, like a contra bassoon playing? What is that that's playing while he's snipping?
I think contra bassoon is definitely what's playing. Let's just go with that, Matt. Because I don't know what that is.
I don't even know what it sounds like. It's just an instrument that popped into my head. Yeah.
Yeah, so
4:3 ratio really lends itself to Belushi films. Have you noticed?
Yes.
He's best in a squarer frame.
237?
If this was widescreen, it would be Belushi madness.
Especially when he's talking on a rotary phone. Like, that's just,
Meet me at Stevie B's because you're evil. No one meets at
Roadhouse
Stevie
music.
B's if it's good.
Yeah, no.
Good news.
No.
In fact, that's how they used to advertise it on the local television. It's never good news if you're invited down to Stevie B's. Never good news. You might as well stay home because it's never good news when you come on down to Stevie B's.
And watch out for the marlin on the wall. Don't get stabbed by it. I love this shot of him with the marlin behind him there.
Yes.
Squeeze.
What is this?
No, I didn't.
90s suit jacket over a fucking polo shirt look. I want to punch him. He's so evil.
Yeah.
I want to get that marlin and insert it into him.
And it's a polo that's designed specifically to not be buttoned.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's meant to not be. If he buttons that up, it doesn't look properly. So they designed it so it would be unbuttoned.
You can't button up the Goldwyn. That's what we're learning.
Jack.
By the way, we just found out Belushi's character abused by his father.
Yeah. Not her. Not by the mom who should have been pushed in the water.
No.
You know why it had to be the father, not the mother? Because if it was the mother, they would have had to push her in the water.
The twist is that Belushi has been a ghost the whole time.
I don't know. I think
He and Bracco are going to do a pottery scene here in a minute. There it is.
How do you turn this thing on? Yeah.
Well, I know how to use the record player because I'm old, but I don't know how to use a printer.
Didn't Belushi go looking at stuff in his bedroom?
Yeah.
To find lipstick.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Belushi would know it wasn't him. If it
but
was
he's got all the
Belushi,
lipsticks.
why would he be looking at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And the letters. He's got the letters.
That's one level too much, I feel like.
Yeah.
Belushi is the killer, and Belushi's a ghost. Thank you. Traces of Red. The 90s.
I love how Goldwyn can't open a letter the way that Belushi does with a plum of just like the side rip.
What took you so long, Steve?
Belushi is the only one allowed to open a letter in a cool way.
Right, yeah. Goldwyn, it's another one of the rules. If you're going to be in this movie, son, you can't open a letter in a cool way. You've got to, like, haphazardly rip the thing open.
You've got to open a letter like a man distressed. Like a ham. Call back, Chekhov's ham. Classic.
Chekhov's ham.
Tonight on PBS, Walter Koenig reads Chekhov's
mine
Ham,
and
new story by John Cross. He's got my wife, goddammit, the wife that I cheated on with Lorraine Bracco, yet was somehow expected to care about this wife that even I, the apparent now hero of the film, despite being the guy who we all thought was guilty for most of the film, everyone has to like me now. They all have to like me after they've sat through watching me wear fucking tucked in polo shirts like an absolute idiot. They've got to like me now. You're going to do the Texas switcheroo with the old Belushi.
Yeah.
No, I don't accept it, Goldwyn. I don't accept it one bit.
No.
You're not fooling anyone.
Let's lean on some cars some more. I think that's... If we're going to wrap this thing up, we've got to lean on some cars.
How many hours do you want me to lean on this car? Is this to pay me back for the fact that you've stolen my husband?
Like a retreat?
Yeah.
Almost a pirate shirt. Like it's
almost.
That was a good thrash death there. I like that.
Textbook Belushi.
Yeah, he thrashed that one well. There's no shimmy there or anything. He just whipped it back. Like
he literally stood up after that shot and was like, "Got it," and won.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "No, we weren't rolling. No, we got that. I'm off to my trailer." You get one slow-mo Belushi.
Well, you came in. I bet you thought I was going to be a hero or something.
I don't know what I thought, Belushi.
I was.
Oh.
Oh, the irony of irony. Mark McDonald says, this screenplay doesn't make sense. Like, did he deliberately do things that made the viewer suspicious of his partner because he knows he's in a movie?
Cover up the truth.
Good shot. Not even a moment of tension for the viewer.
To turn defeat.
Yeah, that was quick. That was just boom. Yeah.
Belushi dead.
Yeah.
Michael and Steve cared about my reputation. And theirs.
Uh-oh. Is Belushi alive in there?
Oh, that would be amazing. Carrie style.
He opens it up and it's like Belushi does like a big gasp, like, I thought there was supposed to be air in there.
It's traces of red, too. Belushi, the cyborg serial killer. Oh, she's blonde and wearing red lipstick. You thought it was over and I was the bad guy.
Yes.
It's me.
Come on in.
Okay. And that buzzer was also to tell her that she's wrong and letting this guy in, like a game show.
We've got a double twist, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Double twist.
Okay. And she's playing a tape player.
Belushi and Lorraine Bracco are dead. But
Hi.
he's really the killer. His brother was the killer.
Yeah.
So, now that I finally have you here, would you like a drink?
Sure.
Honestly, I put nothing past the screenwriter at this point. That's Jim Pittock you're talking about, Mark McDonald.
Yes. He was
Jim
the guy
Pittock of Tooth Fairy fame.
Yes, if you've seen Best in Show, he's the announcer with Fred Willard.
I know. I'm so sorry about Jack.
Yeah, I'm sorry about Jack, too.
It was all a setup.
Mind if I turn it off?
Why did you need to fake a funeral in order to get your brother, who we all knew was evil to begin with? So did you, because you're his brother. You know that he's evil.
And he's a jerk, too.
Basically, at this
Jack
point,
and I went out.
the writer was like, how do I make it so that
come on, Amanda, you can tell me
Goldwyn's the bad guy, then Belushi's the bad guy, then the brother's the bad guy? How do I do the triple?
That was an easy one.
This is
how he landed it.
This goes down in screenwriting history as the Pittock maneuver.
The Pittock trilogy of reveals.
Yes, when you're in screenwriting school, the Pittock method, right? They discuss the Pittock method.
Yeah, they do.
All Lifetime movie screenwriters have to understand the Pittock method before they can write.
And Helen,
Yeah.
you know, you're quite like her.
Whoa.
So, the guy who was on a kids' TV show turned out to be the killer.
Yeah.
You didn't see that coming, did you? I love also that Belushi waits till this length of time.
Because it's a movie, so she's not going to be traumatized, right? There's going to have no trauma after the fact, right? Yeah, this isn't going to be horrible at all for her.
Behind me. Get your hands in the air, move back.
I mean, that was just, he could have come in at any point.
Right.
Any
point. Like the other, right?
Yeah. Movies don't seem to think there's anything as PTSD, so there's...
known about Gloria Awards.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You killed Jack.
Did I?
Scrabbly-doo, yes.
Where's the saxophone? Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Where is the saxophone moment.
My little girl can play dead.
The saxophone should have gone.
Yeah.
Now, go on.
Yeah, as he goes through the door.
What was the whole point of this? Can anyone explain it to me?
Yeah.
If they knew the brother was bad, what? They
Right.
let him kill multiple people.
Michael.
Right.
How could my brother want to frame me? How could he want me dead?
You killed 3 women.
That's right. Pinnock did write a lot of Silk Stockings episodes after this. Yeah. They were
I would have done
horrors.
anything for you. I knew what it was like. I knew what she did. Michael, how could you do it?
I would have got you a deep dish pizza. Oh.
Michael! Michael, no!
The Pinnock method. It's always going to end with a senator's death. I don't know that he's a senator. He could be running for mayor for all I know.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
It was like state senate or something. Yeah, he was running for.
Where is that saxophone earlier? When they
I know. The moment that door opened and Belushi was revealed is when we needed that saxophone playing there.
Just needed to come right in there, Pinnock, and you Pinnock it up again, didn't you?
No, leaning.
Blowing up.
Yeah.
God, you could drain this drama into a cup.
Oh, yeah.
And then sell it as an energy drink.
How did they were just like, but they realized there's no way we could do, we've done the leaning over the car thing too much, so let's do a porch or like a deck.
Good job they're leaning there and not further up where it's coming away from the rail.
Right. Yes.
That's not very safe.
No.
I would get the local council on that.
That would have been a true Pinnock twist if Goldwyn died, if he fell, if it fell and he died. No, I don't remember what Goldwyn's character name was, but Goldwyn, and he's like reaching for him.
And then Belushi looked at the camera and went, "Scribbly do, I was evil all along," and then ran away.
Oh, there's Separate Lives. That's on here too. I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, so ladies and germs, Separate Lives will be coming up. So I know really only a couple of people watched this, but what did everyone think? Is this something that you would routinely watch or not? And if it isn't, do we care? Would we do it anyway? Did you enjoy it, Matt?
I loved it. This was a lot of fun. I think, this setup is great. I mean, I don't know, if we have to figure out if we can do it for free on this service, continue I don't understand why they can't charge you monthly. Like, I don't understand why,
Well, they would. They could charge us monthly, but it would be an extra $60.
Oh, right. Okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. But, yeah, I mean, I think this is, these Belushi movies feel like they're just a, fountain of, Jim Pinnock movies.
Not Jim Pinnock movies, Jim Belushi movies. I mean, can we just talk about Belushi's had so many layers in that film.
Yeah.
And he just peeled each one off expertly like he was peeling onion off a deep dish pizza.
Yes. I mean, the voiceover piece. It was, because the voiceover piece, I think it was almost like he didn't want the Chicago accent, but then sometimes he wanted it. And it just kind of, like you said, it was like a deep dish pizza, but like an Uno's in a shopping center, not in Chicago, like in just some suburban shopping center.
In a shopping center. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, that was Traces of Red. I'm glad you sat through it. I didn't know whether we were going to just occasionally stop it and talk about the movie, or whether we were going to talk all the way through it. We ended up talking all the way through it. I hope that was fine for you.
It's fine.
That worked. I feel like otherwise we would have been pausing it every 30 seconds, and the film, we'd still be watching this movie 4 hours from now. So, but anyway, I hope people enjoyed that. We'll definitely do it again. Because I enjoyed it. But maybe it gains legs at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it from middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi films unironically. Matt, tell everyone where they can find you, and then we're going to pop off.
Yes, dtvconnoisseur.blogspot.com. That's where pretty much everything is. Books. My newest one is Bainbridge. It's a novella about a detective cop on the edge in the early 90s named Bainbridge, John Bainbridge. You can get that on Amazon, paperback and Kindle. And that's where my other novels are as well. So, yeah, you can check me out on there.
Yes, I own them all, and I really should have had them so I could have held them up. They're on that shelving unit back there.
I got one here, Bainbridge.
Bainbridge.
Yeah, that's the newest one. Check it out. Very thin. It's only about 80 pages, so it's a novella. So yeah, you can quick and easy read. $3 on Kindle, $6.99 on paperback.
Excellent. That's wonderful. I don't have any other than people should buy my albums, but I've been saying that for 13 years, and it's only Matt and a couple of other people that do anymore, which I'm very grateful for. But come on, someone else buy it. So we will come back with Separate Lies at some point soon. Mark, we loved you rabbiting on. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you
it was
so
fantastic.
much for joining. Mark McDonald there, just saying, fun listening, guys. Sorry for rabbiting on so much. No, not at all. We liked it. We encourage interaction.
Yeah.
But with that, thank you ever so much, Matt. We'll talk to you soon on Messenger. Have a good week. And this has been me. And this has been Matt. And this has been Middle-Aged Men Watch 90s Era. Jim Belushi films unironically. And one day we'll work out how to end a show. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh, we are two middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi films. Two middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi films. Two middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi films. And you can watch along with us. Oh, yeah. You've been watching along with us. Oh, yeah. Or maybe you've been listening somewhere where it's glistening. You just got the podcast version. You've not seen the film, but you have listened along with us. Oh, dear. You have spent your time with us. Just finish.